Welcome to the Rhode Island Antiques Mall. Rhode Island Antiques Mall is a co-op of about 200 antique dealers from all over the East Coast, as well as 150 consigners, people that bring their items in every day for us to appraise and put out on the floor at a market value.
It's a two-story building with a main level and a lower level. We designed each level to be quite different than the other. The main level is more oriented towards home furnishings, artwork, and higher-end collectibles, while the lower level is more of what we call a peek and poke kind of environment, where there's a very diverse selection of merchandise. Some of it is very inexpensive, some of it's very expensive, some of it's very rare and valuable antiques, some of it is just fun old stuff. Originally we thought that some people would stay on the main floor and not bother going to the lower level, and vice versa, depending on their taste. But as it turns out, everybody seems to enjoy the diversity of the two different environments.
When people first come into the Rhode Island Antiques Mall, they will see that it is a vast place to find everything from collectibles to jewelry, to furniture, to fabrics. You name it, we've got it. Anything that's 100 years or older is considered an antique, but that's not the only thing that we sell here at the mall. We sell collectibles, we sell home furnishings. Anything considered modernism, all the way down to things as old as what we call primitives from the 1700s. So it wouldn't be unlikely to walk into one booth and find something from the 1970s, a Peter Max print or an Ames chair. And then next door find a butter churn from the 1800s, or a pie safe. So there's something for everybody here.
You can find more things at the Rhode Island Antiques Mall than probably any other antique center in New England. We have a lot of specialty dealers, including furniture, oriental rugs, pottery, Chinese and oriental kinds of wares, African artifacts, and any number of different types of glassware, silver, very large selection of jewelry, and virtually anything else you could dream up.
We both went to school for art. My degree is in fine arts and art history, and my husband went to school for industrial design. And we've always been fascinated with history, we've always been fascinated with art, and Rhode Island Antiques Mall probably has the largest collection of auction-listed artists that I can think of in New England. There may be somebody else that I know of in New Hampshire, but this is really a pretty amazing place. Our focus is on art, and it's on items that retain their value. It's on assets. It's on things for your home that don't depreciate but appreciate in value, not to mention to decorate your life. So we've brought in our passion for the arts and antiques and history into the store. It's unlikely to find something in here that's so new that it wouldn't have any real value. So although we might have something contemporary, and we only have about 10% contemporary items in the store, that those items have some design or artistic value that is very beautiful.
Going all the way back, my wife and I of 25 years started out our first date as going antique shopping, and here we are 25 years later, still antique fanatics, and getting towards our midlife crisis years. It just seemed like a good idea to really follow our dreams and do what we love to do so much.
As far as how I started loving antiques, I can only go back to when I was a young child, and besides being fascinated with anything as silly as a rock and trying to figure out where the rock came from, and then having a mentor that took me to her antique shows with her when I was a young child, and she was a sort of a grandmother image. We would talk about where antiques come from and how they were manufactured and what they meant. So for me, just understanding the whole history of mankind through items is very, very important. We're always asking, why were we put on this earth? Well, one of the biggest expressions of our existence is through our art, our music, our culture. And there's no question that the things that surround us here in this antiques mall are expressions of us, of our humanity, of our needs, things that we made out of necessity and things that we made out of decoration and just pure beauty.
It's great to be involved in a business that you really love. I own other businesses as well, and I love them all, but what's so special about this business is that it's something that my wife and I both share a passion for, and so it's very fulfilling on a relationship level for my wife and I. This particular business is very social also, where we make a lot of friends with our customers and our dealers. We've got 200 dealers in this store, and it has very quickly become a big family.
It is a celebration. There's no question that when people walk into our store, they're going to feel, they're going to have this feeling like this place is different. It's not like a retail store. You don't walk in and say, "Oh, I'm at a department store, I'm at an outlet," or something like that. When you walk into this store, there's a sense that there's some familiarity, and everybody tries to find their way through what's familiar in the store, whether it's through books that they've known as young children, or things that they studied in school, or a nostalgic piece of tinware, or just anything, a toy, but a toy from many, many years ago, from a long time ago, not from yesterday. And it really makes you feel sort of comfortable. There's the same way we like comfort foods, like chili on a cold winter night. When people come into our store, they have that same sense of, this is comfortable, and we welcome people to stay here. We have a no kick-out policy, which means at the end of our day, we don't start banging bells and screaming, "All right, everybody out." What we do is we tell people to take their time, don't feel rushed. When they get hungry, they will leave, so we're not worried that they're going to be here until midnight. But it's really about the experience. What we're selling at our mall is the experience of learning about the past and taking a little treasure home with you.
We're located directly on Interstate 95, right at an exit. When you get off exit 30 northbound, we're exactly at the foot of the exit. When you get off exit 29 southbound, we're just one turn away, with equally easy access back onto the highway after you finish shopping here. This section of Interstate 95 can have as much as 200,000 cars a day of road traffic on it. And one thing that's interesting about Interstate 95 is that virtually every New Englander has reason to travel on it. So, beyond that, virtually every visitor to New England drives on Interstate 95, whether they're going or coming back and forth from Boston or New York or points further north. So, what we love about this location is that everybody can find us.
It has been an opportunity to take all of our passions, all of my passions, and all of my interests and roll it up into one big giant entrepreneurial project, which is just successful because we love it so much.
We find that we produce a lot of converts here. People come in not knowing or caring about antiques. They almost always find something that they can't leave without, and very frequently we see them back time and time again.